I never grow tired of walking through the vineyard. It brings me back to my childhood, growing up here, playing in the vineyard, working in the vineyard. Our history here goes back to 1974, where my parents first started with a little 12-acre vineyard. I'm the third generation grape grower in our family, and it's just been an evolution of wine growing and winemaking tradition. I think it's in our blood, it's in my blood certainly, and I love every aspect of this business, whether it be in the winery or in the vineyard. The winery sits on a 60-acre estate, and we're growing varieties such as Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon. We do grow a little bit of Pinot Noir here on this site, and of course Chardonnay as well. The 4 Mile Creek sub-appellation, which we are located in, is the largest sub-appellation in Niagara Peninsula. It's one of the warmest sub-appellations, which allows us to create these full-bodied red wines. This is our Terra vineyard. These vines are around 32 years old. You can really tell this is an older vineyard by the gnarly trunks here. These particular grapes are going to go into our Terra Chardonnay. So Terra is a phrase that means beautiful earth. It's a phrase that was often used by my parents growing up, and they used to refer to our vineyards as Terra.
They moved here from Sicily in the late 60s, and the design of the bottles reminds us of the design that you will find on tiles around the Mediterranean, and specifically in the south of Sicily. Every time you open a bottle of Terra wines, you're really experiencing the complexity of the 4 Mile Creek sub-appellation and the Niagara Peninsula. From the climate to the soils and to our winemaking style. Fred DeProfrio, our winemaker, has been with us from day one, and he's really an artist when it comes to expressing the terroir that we have, this beautiful terroir that we have in our Terra vineyards. So our complex soils here in Niagara and in the 4 Mile Creek sub-appellation are very well reflected in the wines that we make. From Chardonnay to Sauvignon Blanc to Riesling, but also in those big reds that we make. So these soils allow us to really create a beautiful range of wines of different character and different body type.
My favorite would have to be Cabernet Franc, because it does so well. It thrives on this particular site. And if I had to pick my second favorite, it would have to be Chardonnay.
So 10 years ago, when we started producing our Terra wines, we launched with the Chardonnay and started to win awards internationally right away. And it is really great example of what these old vines in our vineyards can produce.
Growing up on this farm, I know every single aspect of the soil. I know where the soils change from sandy loam to clay loam. It's really a love of the land, and it's truly a passion for me to continue farming this property. As you sip our Terra wines, you're experiencing our terroir and our passion for growing and making wine in Niagara.